No, I told you a couple of months ago, I made a series of videos and I told you that very shortly there will be a rally when everybody were absolutely bearish and all they could see is obviously what is in front of them when the price action was only bearish. Which, by the way, those who don't know, I was able to predict the downwards trend if before it even happened, and it made no sense to anyone other than myself, and I kept on preaching and explaining how it's going to happen, whether we like it or not. And unfortunately, before we even entered that, I was also able to predict and forecast how there will be a corrective motion on it. Yes, this motion is a little bit more prolonged than we expected, but the very same way that it didn't make sense to anyone that the price action, the market will crash at the stage I was saying it will, and everybody were anticipating for it to break up. And believe it or not, the same way right now, and I warned about this in my videos months in advance, not just about the sentiment, not about the bullish trap nature of everything that's going on right now, but more so the conviction that people will have now, thinking the very same way. They were bearish because they saw bearish price action, and the very same way right now, when the price action is extremely bullish, they're being convinced very easily. But remember, I'll remind you, ladies and gentlemen, the institutions and the market makers themselves are reactive. How do I know? Well, guess what? I worked for them for many years, by the way. And so, guess what? You are allowing yourself to be robbed blind, daylight robbery, if you will, simply because you're buying into the narrative and the sentiment that the market will be going down. We are expected still to see energy shocks, vastness of the market, inflationary shocks that we haven't seen yet. We're not even talking about, JP coming to the end of his term and Kevin Warsh being inaugurated, and of course what he will do, whether he'll cut rates, hike rates, do nothing. Everybody was saying and expecting, rate cuts by now, but as you see, it didn't come. As I warned you, they won't. In fact, as things are headed, we have no choice but to hike rates. But we'll see. For now, all I wanted to do here is to give you a message and remind you, ladies and gents, you need to know technical analysis in order to understand the market's language and stop guessing. So stop guessing. Join my community. $120 a year. Seriously, that's all it is that's preventing you from acquiring a full-on skill. Have a great evening, everyone.